I want to move on to Stephen Fry, who's come out recently with a message of support for Extinction Rebellion. He posted this Twitter video and he claimed the radical group was moving the world towards necessary change.
I know Extinction Rebellion XR are mucky and they make a fuss. They're loud, they're disruptive. They sometimes throw paint and other such things, and they block traffic. But what else is going to make politicians really recalibrate, realign, revolutionise politics so that it faces the horrors of climate change and all the damage we're doing to our planet? Extinction Rebellion seem to be the only people who are sensibly, even if angrily, even if energetically, trying to move society and the world towards this. It's going to be a heck of a fight. But unless we get together, it's a fight we'll lose. So here's to you, XR.
James, I'm almost speechless. Sensibly, Extinction Rebellion? I mean, what is the man on? I mean, and also, isn't he a massive hypocrite? Doesn't he have an enormous carbon footprint himself with multiple homes and multiple cars?
Well, I mean, the hypocrisy of a rich lefty having lots of cars and being into airplanes and all sorts of other things like that and telling the rest of us how to live, that's no surprise. What is a bit of a surprise, because I haven't seen Stephen Fry for years, is, you know, I thought he looks more like he has a problem with having not any home rather than having too many homes, given, you know, his sort of rather shambolic appearance there,
like
coming to us from what looks like, you know, the floor of his home gym somewhere. It's just so the idea that Extinction Rebellion is sensible or doing anything sensible about climate is pretty bonkers. But, you know, I'm not sure that Stephen Fry is exactly somebody I'd take advice on climate or economics or, from the looks of it, even personal hygiene, frankly.
Oh, look, he's just like one of us, James. He's one of us in lockdown with his lockdown haircut or beard.
They're not locked down, Rita.
I've been living with one of those. Yeah, I know. That's true. That's true. I've been living with one of those at home for too long. No, but seriously, Rita, is he going to be swapping his Bentley for a Prius anytime soon? I don't think so. And as James said, I mean, the argument that Extinction Rebellion has any modicum of civility about it. I mean, these are people who in Australia, the Australian branch, vandalised Parliament recently. I mean, it's taxpayers who have to foot the bill to clean that up. Someone set fire to a pram in front of Parliament. I mean, Stephen Fry, I mean, it's a lovely message. It's a lovely message that we all need to come together and hold hands and affect climate change. But is it the Chinese and the Indians who he's speaking to here who have their leaders have completely looked the other way in terms of following any sort of world rules on carbon emissions? No. So what are we going to do in these developed countries?
Absolutely. And Carol, I don't even think it is actually a lovely message, because if you look at Extinction Rebellion, you look at what their founders have said and what their real philosophy is, it's not a great deal about the environment, but it's all about dismantling Western imperialism and capitalism. And there's all sorts of other goals there that, in my mind, aren't particularly well-intentioned or lovely. But let's move to the US now. President Biden's approval ratings have dipped with a 15-point swing in congressional preference among independents since April. James, I'll start with you. What does this mean for the Biden administration? And are things going to improve? Is this Afghanistan debacle going to be forgotten in a couple of weeks, or is this going to hang around?
No, it's because it's not just Afghanistan, Rita. It's so much else. It's the crisis on the southern border. It's the fact that Joe Biden has not gotten the pandemic under control like he promised he would, you know, saying that Donald Trump had it out of control. He would be in control. That hasn't happened. It is these multi-trillion-dollar spending programs that he's got, which are already really being felt in terms of inflation. So that means in practical terms, wage cuts for income-earning Americans. It's this whole economic thing where they've been paying people to stay home, so a lot of businesses can't even get people to come to work for them. All of these things are building, but the biggest problem for Joe Biden is this. You know, the media dragged him over the line last year in that election. They ignored every single sign that this guy was going to be a disaster, no matter what his mental faculties are. And that's a whole nother discussion we can have. And now they realize, having done that, they're getting nothing in return. They call him Walk-Away Joe now because he doesn't take questions at any sort of press conference. He doesn't give them anything. And so now they are starting to turn on him as well. Things are only going to get worse for Joe Biden.
Well, that's becoming synonymous with his presidency, isn't it? That image of him walking away, reading a prepared statement, perhaps answering one or two questions that he knows are coming from pre-selected journalists, and then walking off as people scream questions at him. Now, I've got some little bit of NRL here. Bulldogs star Adam Elliott has been stood down for the remainder of the NRL season for sharing a kiss in a Gold Coast restaurant bathroom. James, I know you're not going to know anything about this. I'm going to go to you, Caro.
You know I'm a Bulldogs fan, Rita.
Well,
but
I
should issue that disclaimer.
Is there something... Yep. No, we'll take it that under consideration. But I don't understand this story. If it was a consensual kiss, even if it was in the men's bathroom, why would he get such a severe penalty? Is there something I'm supposed to be reading between the lines here? What's really going on?
Oh, look, this isn't the first strike for him. He's had a few. There were a few years ago, he was involved in some public nudity on Mad Monday. I know it's shocking, footballers misbehaving on Mad Monday. He was also involved in a bit of a tryst with a teammate's wife not too long ago and underwent some alcohol counselling for that. Again, it's really nothing we're not used to hearing about footballers. Look, the two parties say it was consensual. It was just a kiss in the bathrooms. I'm not quite sure. I think it's the fact that it wasn't his first strike, that he's had a few against his name, that the gang obviously wants to clean up their image. Look, maybe one of them should have said, I identify as the opposite gender, and then there would be no issue in which bathroom that they were in, but you couldn't kick them out then, could you? But... yeah, look, I don't
find the whole thing bizarre. The way the story has been presented, if it's a consensual kiss, to be suspended for the rest of the season just seems such a severe penalty for a kiss. I mean, he's allowed to kiss people, isn't he? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if it's a public health
James
issue,
Morrow.
COVID. No, I don't know.
I don't know. Thank you for joining us. That discussion went a bit weird.